What's up, y'all? Welcome to our YouTube channel, Africans Talk Football. Appreciate your guys' continued support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.
Welcome back to another episode of Africans Talk Football, where we bring you fresh soccer news highlighting the Africans and African Americans who have seen success within the sport. We bring you news from our favorite teams within the Premier League, as well as informing you on other top European leagues and soccer news worldwide. Whether this is episode 1 or you've been rocking with us from the jump, again, just want to say thank you to all of our friends and supporters. My name's Cornelius, and I'm joined by my boys and fellow co-hosts. And today we have a very, very special guest with us here today, DC legend Bill Hamid. How are you doing tonight?
They are small, you know.
We here.
Something small. Thank God, bro. Thank God.
Absolutely, man. Just want to pass it over to Salam for a quick intro, but super happy to have you on tonight. Salam.
Yeah, man. U.S. Open Cup champion, two-time Gold Cup champion, Danish Superliga champion, 2014 MLS Goalkeeper of the Year, DC United and DMV legend, Bill Hamid. Welcome to the show, bro.
Gas him up.
I feel like when the Pacquiao Jones. I feel like that was my first time somebody gave me my Pacquiao intro moment.
No way.
Appreciate
it.
Well deserved for sure.
Well deserved, man. Really, we were talking a little bit before we started recording. I really just wanted to start out with you and the Virginia Dream recently just closed out the calendar year with a trophy.
Yeah.
You guys won the Super Cup final, so I would love for you to walk us through your season with the Virginia Dream and your experience playing in the NPSL.
Yeah, man, the Dreams, they're cool people, you know, like it's cool to see other young, talented, you know, passionate footballers, guys that grew up in this region, you know, that put this together. More specifically for guys that were like, I would say, they were kind of pushed to the side at some point of their career. You know, guys with real talent that they were just kind of left by the wayside. You know, and real programs, real opportunities were presented to some of these guys, but they had talent. So these guys, because they have the passion, you see, you know, some of them got jobs. You know, some of them do other things, but their focus on the game is still there. You know, they still have some sort of youthfulness. And so they're really pushing. We train, we make sure we keep everybody fit. There's a real focus on I am a professional, even though it hasn't gone a certain way. I am a professional. I know I can, and if that opportunity presents itself, I'm gonna take it. So it's cool to be with them and see that, and see have Lucas and his dad, his family put all that together with Roger and the crew. Man, those guys, man, I give them so much kudos. Like they're really like hood billionaires. You know that phrase, like hood billionaire. Like to me, that's like for me when I look at them, I'm like, all right, you guys did it the right way, you know. Because I was up, you know, playing in the MLS. I was playing right now, so I didn't see what they had going on around here. So now I see that, I'm like, all right, cool. I'd like to be a part of it. And hell, the fact that we just qualified for the 2025 Open Cup. You know, I think it's just massive. It's massive for an amateur club to have been able to achieve that. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. Just to kind of piggyback off that, I mean, like we said, you know, we're based in Cleveland, and we have what's our Cleveland team called? I think it's just called CLE, like soccer CLE, in Cleveland, and it's a MPSL team, a club as well. And like we usually, you know, win our region, and we usually play in the Open Cup during the years too. So there's one year, maybe like a couple years ago, we ended up playing FC Cincinnati. We played like Pittsburgh Riverhounds, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, so it's dope when you're able to actually see, you know, and there's a lot of talent, like you said, man. There's a lot of talent in these other leagues.
I had no idea.
Yeah, man. So it's dope to.
I thought that a lot of these guys, man, once they didn't make it, or they finished school, finished college, and they didn't find another opportunity, like they kind of just like, you know, let me go into the real world. Nah, there's guys out here and they're really balling. And then I see it, and like you just said, it's nationwide. So I didn't know that there's all these years, bro, at the highest level, UPSL, MPSL, all these leagues, had no idea they existed.
Wow.
Had no idea. And I think a lot of the guys that are up there probably have no idea. Now more so, I think it's more because it's proven to be a pathway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
To get exposed.
It's proven to become a pathway for guys. Like, for instance, I'm doing George Mason camp earlier today. You know, they got guys from NAIA schools. They got guys from JUCOs that they've been messaging them, the coaching staff and all that, like trying to showcase themselves. And then I'm getting to talking to these guys. And guys came from Detroit playing UPSL, you know, MPSL to come today.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't know. I had no idea. So it's cool to see that.
Yeah, very cool. So kind of just want to take it back to the origins. Obviously, family from West Africa, from Sierra Leone, but you guys settle in, you know, the Maryland area. So
Yeah.
just for, you know, the fans and the friends, what was your introduction to the game, and, you know, what led you to ultimately picking goalkeeper? You know, because most players want to score goals, and you kind of the opposite. So for me, I always wanted to know what led you as a kid to, you know, to playing goalkeeper, and then how'd you get discovered by, you know, DC, the academy from the beginning?
My dad was a goalie when he was younger. So my dad.
Oh wow, okay.
But I was a striker. I was a striker when I first started, but I couldn't run. I couldn't run a lot. I couldn't run a lot. You know, I get gas. I get winded very easily. So I said, "Fam, you got to go back there, fam." You know, so I was in goal, and I just proven to be good at it, man. I was flying around. You know, I was able to fly around, cover the goal. You know, use my wingspan, use my width of my body, my attention to detail, like positioning and angles, knowing angle plays, knowing the goal where I am in the goal without having to look back at the goal. It just worked out because that's what it is, right? Like, if these kids can't figure out where they are in the goal without having to turn around and look at the goal all the time, if you can get to the right angle for where the ball is and just get set, and if you have athletic ability, you can be a good goalkeeper. That's the reality. Like, you know, because like the passing, the feet, all that stuff takes time and practice. But if you know angles, you can do it. So that was the reason why I was able to do it. And my family, you know, being from Sierra Leone, the community here is massive. Like, we all pretty much live here, Jersey and Texas.
Okay.
The Sierra Leone community. Also a little bit in Philadelphia as well. So like pretty much the Northeast and Texas is where most of the diaspora lives in the United States of America. So it was cool. I used to watch my uncles back then. They had a Sierra Leone team. So there was an African league out here. They had they created a Sierra Leone team, and the wives, the girlfriends, all that stuff. They'd bring like the grills. They bring grills, and they made me, and then they have somebody be blasting reggae music. They'd be blasting reggae music and blasting like old salon music out somebody's car, and then they play against like an El Salvadorian team.
That's fire. That's fire.
Cool. So that was like my earliest memories of watching soccer, seeing my uncles on those teams, you know, seeing my dad play on those teams, you know. So yeah,
that's super dope.
That's very cool. So how old were you around there?
I was young.
I
was young. It was like 3, 4. This is when I first started playing soccer. 3, 4, 5 years old. Yeah, that's when I was really young. That's when they were playing, and I still go to those parks too. I still go hang out those parks sometimes and play and all that stuff because they be active, man. They be playing mad pickup down there, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about the DMV area. You know, even talking to, you know, a couple of the Bobcat staff, it's so diverse. Like, you talking about, we played an El Salvadorian team. It's like, I didn't grow up meeting nobody from El Salvador, and the fact that they could field the whole 11 is kind of crazy.
Where you didn't grow up where meeting people?
So I grew up in Cleveland. Cleveland, Ohio. Gabriel and I are brothers. We're our family's from Liberia, so we're Liberians. Grew up in Cleveland here. Yeah. So honestly, like we were saying, there's a lot of people in DC. We also have a lot of, you know, Philly as well, and then Minnesota. There's a lot of Liberians over in like St. Paul.
Honestly, Philly, the big Liberian community.
Philly got a lot of Liberians, huh? This is the Northeast. I wonder what attracted him to cold weather.
I don't know, man. Seriously, I don't know. You would think Texas, you know.
He's right there. The South is right there. You know, we were you know, it's like
I was just closer from Africa, bro. You're on the flight, and it's just like, man, let's just get off here.
Yeah, man.
So how did you get like introduced to like DC United's academy, and how did you get picked up by them?
Ex-players. John Maisner, legend, with DC United. Judah Cooks, another legend. His rest in peace. Both his parents just died this year. His uncle
Okay.
Harry
wow.
Belafonte is his uncle. His mom's a legend in
Wow.
Washington D.C. government. I didn't know he was home. Oh, that's what's up. My little sister's here. My little sister's a baller. Plays for Fort. Come here.
Oh, is that a
Plays for Fort
she
Lauderdale
just won
United.
Player of the Month?
She plays in
Oh
the
yeah.
USA.
Hey,
what's
congrats,
up? What's up?
congrats.
Yeah,
Well
Thank you.
congrats.
done.
And she was the player of the month in their. They have
Yeah.
a season. They have a break now, right?
Yeah.
Player of the month for November or December.
December.
Player of the
Right.
month for December. Scored a banger.
Congrats.
Balling
Congrats.
runs in the
Congrats.
And they
family.
play
Okay.
on Peacock, so check them out on Peacock.
For
All
sure.
All right. We
Definitely got to
will.
check her out.
Tap in with you for sure. For sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
I'm gonna get her to babysit now. She's gonna be happy off that one. Yeah,
Academy.
so from the legends, yeah, Judah Cooks. Judah Cooks is also a guy from DC who's an academy coach. One of the current biggest agents in the country right now, Chris Megaludis. He was on the
Mhm.
academy team at the time,
Okay.
in terms of the academy staff, and Marco Echeverry, El Diablo himself,
Oh,
MLS
Diablo.
Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the academy coaches, and yeah, once they had tryouts, they were recruiting players in the area, and I was one of those ones when I was like 13, 14 years old that they found, and I was
Wow.
luckily able to stay on and sign eventually.
So they
Yeah.
discovered you off of just a trial that you went to.
Yeah, so they would have
Wow.
tryouts every year, right? They would have
Okay.
tryouts, and a lot of the kids in the area would go. A lot of the kids in the area would go. So it was a thing. It was a thing that parents would prepare for throughout the
Oh,
year.
okay.
Kids would train for throughout the year, and it was a thing that people would try to try out for to make that academy team.
That's
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah. So I bet competition must have been nuts. Just talk about DC, DMV area.
The
yeah,
Africans, yeah.
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 Hella Africans, hella
Yeah.
Latinos. Even them
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Asians, man. We got them Koreans out here, man. They don't play no games with the ball at their feet, bro.
Techie.
Yeah,
Techie.
facts. Techie,
Like,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
their technical ability, I give it to them,
Absolutely.
man.
Yeah.
You know, they might not be physically the strongest. You might be able to bump them off the ball, but yeah, technically, yo, seriously, the melting pot of cultures out here, it creates an atmosphere where the talent level, the talent pool, it forces you to elevate your game.
Mhm.
I think that early on when youth soccer, we like with the youth on the men's side, it really started to pop. DC United was one of the clubs. The region, we had a lot of teams in the region that were doing really well up and down the East Coast. For some reason, PDA up to New Jersey. I remember like BW Gotchis in New York. You come a little more to south, you got like Potomac. Potomac was doing really well. But
Remember
Baltimore and
Potomac.
Casamia Bays was doing really well. These were clubs that were winning national championships. So DC United was like, okay, let's go ahead and create this ourselves with this region. So they created their own,
Mhm.
and we won the very first MLS Cup, MLS Youth Cup, the very first one in
Mm.
Wow.
Colorado
Okay.
and Dick's Sporting Good Park, and we
Mm.
beat Kansas City in the final. Kansas City too, and from there it was like, okay, there's real talent in this area. This DC region is not playing around. It's like there's some players that you can find that could definitely come and play for national team. So you got like guys like Clarence Goodson,
Mm.
who came out this area. Mia Hamm came out this
Mm.
area.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know,
Jeez, talk about legend.
yeah. Jasmine Hamid came out this area.
Come on, talk about it.
You know, so
Mm-hmm.
For
yeah.
sure.
No, that's super cool. So yeah, so obviously you get, on the academy, you rise through the ranks, and you're actually the first academy player to play in a professional game. So talk about that experience, being a DC native, rising through the academy, and then actually signing a professional contract and then starting. What was that experience like walking into that first game through the tunnel?
It's crazy, man. I gotta give love to my man Freddy Adu.
Shout out Freddie,
I
man.
gotta, I gotta.
Liberian
I
man.
ain't never
Shout
not
out
one
Freddie.
Ah,
time. And I've thought about this over my 15-year career, man. I've not once in no interview, no, I've ever
Mm-hmm.
given Freddie Adu his flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they keep giving me this, I even look at the plaque I got in the house that DC gave me. Like they said, first the academy player to sign the first team. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to disrespect the club and how the club feels about me. And whoever, if anybody from the club watches, like, thank you. I wear that with honor. But it really was Freddy. Like at the end of the
Mm.
day, it really was Freddy, and yeah, because Freddy was playing Super Y League. I don't remember if you remember the Super Y League back in the day was really popular, and Freddy was playing Super Y League. That's every summer with DC United Academy. And this is when the academy was only in the summer, and then he ended up obviously the story signing 14-year-old in the league.
Yeah.
So so he was really the first one, and then he went fucking
Wow.
he took it to another level, right?
Yeah.
But he was really the first. I got to give him his flowers because I don't know. I don't want to forget him. I feel like the club don't give him
I
the
like
flowers
that. I like that. I like
the
that.
flowers that he
Respect.
needs. Freddie Adu is really he should be a Hall of Famer for DC United. It's a shame that he's not already.
That's a great
Shame.
point.
Yeah.
Respect. Yeah.
Young
That's a
Ghanaian
very
boy
good
from
point.
Potomac, Maryland himself. Potomac is 10 minutes outside of DC.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think all of us on this pod looked at Freddie Adu, and was just
He gave us
everyone
hope, like,
felt
you
just,
can
it
make
gave
it.
everyone hope.
Hell
You can
yeah.
he's 14, he's
That
playing
Sprite
African.
commercial with Pele.
Yeah,
Hey, my mom knew who Freddie Adu was. Yeah,
That Sprite commercial with Pele, bro.
yeah.
It's crazy.
So you make your debut versus the Kansas City Wizards. Like, what was that experience like?
It was dope because I beat my man that I was really looking up to. I beat my man in that game, Kai Kamara.
Wow.
Really, that was the way I was like, man, I'm going against Kai. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Because as a young Salon boy, you're like, all right, Kai Kamara. You're like, Kai, you about to go against Kai. At the time, also, 'cause even though he was still fairly young, I was like, oh, you about to go against Kai. I was like, oh shit. The people be talking about him at the Masjid all the time. When it's a Sierra Leone international game and you end up having to go to the mosque or whatever, because the mosque that my family go to, that my grandparents are part of, it's in Hyattsville, Maryland. Man, whenever there's an international match, they always talking about like the Salon team, talking about the men's team. So you're always hearing about Kai Kamara at the masjid, Hey, if Kai Kamara
That's
don't
good.
score, there's a problem.
Oh man,
So,
that's a crew legend, Columbus crew legend. I still think to this.
we don't know which club
He's our
legend
best
with,
striker.
because
Yeah,
he's been at every club.
Yeah.
So I don't know which club. I think it's Kansas City, if anything.
Yeah.
Probably the club he's the legend for, because he's been everywhere.
He's been everywhere.
Yeah.
But crew fans, we love him over here.
Yeah.
He gave us
he
some of the
did.
best years.
And he just won the MLS Cup just this year, no?
Yeah.
Then he went LAFC.
LAFC.
Yeah, he was with LAFC. Yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah,
You're right.
they won the.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the.
I wonder if it's like third or fourth ring, because did he win one back in the day with San Jose or Houston? I'm not sure. I think he won one with Kansas City, maybe, or Open
Yeah, he
Cup.
won with Kansas City because him and because we talked to CJ Sapong not too long ago.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Oh, that's my man's. How's he doing? He's good. Shout out
CJ's
to
good,
Yeah.
man. Yeah,
All
CJ's
right.
really good.
Such a down to earth fella, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
down to
man. We
earth.
I got some good memories with that bull, man. Good
I,
memories.
So if you were to go back and give your 18-year-old self advice, what would it be?
Yeah, I'd say nothing, man. I'd say just go do you. Just go be, man. Go flow. Because bro, there was no thought process back then, man. It was just like, if the ball's in front of you, go get that thing. If it's coming at you, make sure it doesn't go past the goal line. Plain and simple. And that did come with some sort of pushback, because it seemed like I was so raw. And I was relying solely on my athletic ability. But what do you want with the youthful goalkeeper? It's the reality. The position you mature a lot later. So in the beginning, you've got to be just instinctual, just like raw, and just like you're on your front foot. You're never on your heels. You're always just. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that I wouldn't change a thing back then. There's some things off the field I'd change. But on the
we
field,
all have
man,
some things we can change.
yeah, man. We all. That's who we are.
Yeah,
That's being human, man. That's being
human.
human.
So fast forward to 2013. It's probably one of the tough seasons for DC United. What lessons will you take from that experience, and what advice would you give other players that might be going through
That's a
similar situation right
2014 question all over again.
now.
That's what the media was asking me all January 2014. Um, it was cool. I mean, What talk about a fucking roller coaster. Oh, sorry, excuse my language. Talk about a
Nah,
real
bro.
talk about a
Nah,
real
you're
Do
roller
good.
you?
coaster, bro. 2013 we won 3 matches, fam.
Wow.
But we were advancing in the Open Cup. We made it to the finals, won that jump, and on top of that, I went away that summer, and that was 2013 summer when I won the Gold Cup with the
Mhm,
U.S.
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
So 2 trophy celebrations, going crazy, but sitting
mhm.
there like, man, every weekend we're losing. Like
Yeah.
I don't,
Mhm,
it's just like the summer was fantastic, and that's usually around the time when you finish a little bit after the summers when you finish the Open Cup. So the summer was
mhm.
like, man, go win this with the U.S. Live that. Nick Raimondo backstopped us all the way there. He was the goalkeeper for that, the legend Nick Raimondo, who also was a DC United legend as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great to see. I was with Sean Johnson as well with that.
Mm.
The
Mhm.
legend himself. He's up in Toronto now, doing his thing still. So it was good. It was just a good time, good group. DeMarcus Beasley was in that jump in
Yeah.
that Gold Cup turn team. Oguchi
Mhm.
Onyewu,
Onyewu.
uh,
Wow.
Onyewu, the big dog.
Legends.
Oh yeah.
Um, you
Was
know,
Eddie Johnson there?
huh? Eddie was there. Yeah, Eddie was my
Wow.
roommate.
Okay.
Eddie was my roommate for
No
summer.
way.
Uh, um, yeah, Eddie, man. Oh my God,
Speaking of Eddie,
the
Salam is
huncho,
a big
man.
Eddie fan, by the way. He was a
That's the
big
Yeah.
Eddie
huncho,
fan.
man. That's my
I,
fam, man. That's a good.
yeah, man. I was telling these guys about Eddie Johnson for years, man. They all looked at
Yeah,
me
he was a
crazy. I was like,
big fan.
bro,
Y'all had
this
some good
guy.
memories together, man. I'm telling you, bro. If only I could tell you, man. If only I could tell you.
Off camera, man. We'll talk off camera.
Life, bro. Life, man. We worked hard, though. I'd say that, man. You're talented young men with good
Mhm,
work ethic, bro. Good work ethic.
mhm.
So it was good, you know.
So you go through that 2013 roller coaster season. The next season, you're goalkeeper of the year.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
how did what happened in 20? Well, how do you think that played into the success you had in 2014?
you seeing all them shots, bro. Like, you getting all that action. You like, it's a eye opener. It's a wake up call.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
You getting peppered. Your goal is getting peppered left and right. You like, you can't stop nothing. You're like,
Uh-huh.
why? Like, what's going on here? But you're seeing it, and you're also focused on. You're watching it over and over again. Like I've been a massive film
Mhm.
guy. I got
Okay.
every
Okay.
database I got from my laptops to my phones, all that stuff. Everything full
Mhm.
of film. Whatever I do, whatever I training sessions, games, whatever I do, it's filmed and I watch
Mhm.
it. And more often than not, if I come home from a training session, I'll watch that training session as soon as the video touched down in my. It's like the coaching staff will probably send it like probably around like 1 or 2 or 3 o'clock. As soon as it touched down into my email, there's nothing that's getting in my way for the next hour and a half. Hours, I'm sitting there watching every second of training over again. Games, same. Like sometimes I want like you're young, you go out after games.
Mhm.
Sometimes you go enjoy yourself, especially only after a win.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
even after the wins, man, I'd go as soon as I get home. As soon as I get home, I'll sit down, watch the game over before I go get ready and
Mhm.
go enjoy
Mm.
the fruits of my labor.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
it's just like now that's the biggest thing. It's like the film is
Mhm.
so massive, bro. It was just it helped tremendously from watching getting peppered left and right. 2013. You're seeing these, you're seeing them, you're seeing how these guys move, how they think at
Mhm.
that level, how they think at that level, how quickly their speed of thought at that level.
Mhm.
You see it and you're like, okay, if they get the ball this far from goal, their number one mindset is touch and shoot. You have before they even get the ball, you got to be thinking, oh, if they
Okay.
get the ball here, they're going to shoot.
Shots coming.
Mhm.
Instead of
Mhm.
they're lining up for the shot. Oh, this fool about to shoot. You got to know that this guy's gonna get the ball at some point, and if he get the ball in that spot, I have to be ready for a shot. So it's like reading the danger, like reading the danger before the danger like burns the house down. You know, how can you put the fire out before it burns the house down? But before sometimes the fire, like the team is the house, right? And them advancing the ball is the fire. And then when they're getting closer and closer to the goal, man, they about to burn your house down, fam. You got to put the fire out at some point. And you have all these mechanisms, whether it's communication, so organization, making sure the team's organized, and then what you're doing in the field of play, your depth from the goal, how you're affecting and staying with your back line, so on and so forth. These are all the mechanisms that you got to put that fire out before it burns the house down, which is ending up in your goal. You know, so I just learned that. I learned that. I had a couple years under my belt. I learned that, and in 2014 was all hell broke loose.
Yeah. So speaking of, I mean, it's actually very insightful what you just broke down, because I've personally not, spoken to a professional keeper and, actually get into their mind of, how they're seeing things or how they're improving or what they're doing to improve their game. So that was very insightful. So 2014 comes around. You guys are on top of the world in the Eastern Conference, and you lose in the playoffs. Talk about that experience. You face Red Bull with Thierry Henry.
Yep.
How was that experience?
Dope. He gave me his
Going
jersey,
from one
fam.
season,
He gave me
season.
he gave me his
That's
jersey, fam.
fire. That's fire.
I gave it to my dad for his birthday. I don't know if he still got it, but I want it back, fam. I've been going to do the jerseys that I got. I'm like, dang, man, wow. Yeah, Tim Cahill. They had Rafa Marquez.
Wow.
They had the Iron Man, Luis Robles in goal. Bradley Wright Phillips. You can't leave that fool out. I remember at one point they even had like Sean Wright Phillips, I think. Yeah, man, crazy time. But it was they cheated us in that Eastern Finals. Nobody's ever nobody's ever talked about it. We had that snow game. The first game snowed out. The first game snowed out. So then we had to come back. It was on NBC Sports. We had to come back the next day and play the Eastern semifinals. We beat them. We actually went down by a penalty. I got a red card.
Yeah, 2-1.
Yeah, I got a red card. It was till this day. It's not a red card. I talked to Kenny Cooper till this day. That boy was Olympic. He was Olympic diving. It was literally Olympic diving, like he was diving into a pool. Crazy.
No VAR.
Nah, Mike Geiger. It's crazy because Mark Geiger was standing right there, and Red Bull Arena actually has like a big jumbotron, a good jumbotron that you could see it, and the replay was playing like right when both teams were arguing, and it's like just watch it, just watch it,
Yeah.
But red card happened. Joe Willis ended up saving the penalty. They scored the first one, and I think it was Thierry Henry. Who I know, if I'm not mistaken, either Thierry took it or Tim Cahill took it. I don't remember who took it. I think Tim Cahill took it. I think it was Thierry Henry who came into the box too soon, so they had to retake it. And Joe Willis guessed the other direction, and he saved it. And then we came like a couple minutes later. We came down the field. I'm watching the locker room. Nick DeLeon. Man, he beat Luis Robles to his near post away, right in front of our fan base too. So it was just crazy times, man. Crazy times. That was a crazy game. And then we had Houston. Man, the referee cheated us, man. We had a Brazilian named Rafael. Up top, bro. He was one-on-one clear as day with the goalkeeper, bro, in Houston, man. In Houston, man. But the guy he literally just took it to the chin and pulled Rafael back from the back of his jersey, pulled him down. And the referee gave him a yellow and kept him on the field, fam. I've never seen this a day in my life. I've never seen it today. That was in the first leg. So they ended up scoring. 1-0, I forget what the score was, but I think we lost by 1 goal. So then
Yeah, it
I
was
returned
2-1.
from I returned from the it was 2-1.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so then I returned from the red card for the return leg, and yeah, we couldn't get the job done, but
It was 2-0 that game.
so close.
Just before getting to another topic, I really want to ask. So, as a professional, because I mean, throughout my football career, I think I got like one red, and it was like a men's league game. It wasn't serious, so you know what I mean. So it wasn't a big deal. But when you like, what kind of just walk me through those moments of like you realize like, damn, I'm getting this red. I have to take that walk of shame to through the tunnel, and then I have to go back and watch from the locker room. Like I've always kind of wanted to ask, like, kind of just take me through the like your kind of mindset, and then what is it like in the locker room? Like, are you just by yourself the whole time? Is it like staff is coming in and out?
Well, I
Like,
think
what's it like?
that was my only real red card, man. I don't remember really getting any other red cards, bro. But if I remember that one, I went on Twitter. Twitter had just like kind of like started hitting. I started talking shit. I started talking shit because it was
Hey, that's live.
Kyle Martino. Kyle Martino, and actually one of the dudes who does Premier League now. I can't remember his name, but he's usually in the Premier League coverage now on Peacock. But it was Kyle Martino. They were the in-game analyst, and so there was a TV in the locker room. There's a TV in the locker room, and I turned it on. It was playing. He was talking shit. He was like, "Oh yeah, Bill Hamid for sure. That's just definitely a foul, bro." I was like, and so Twitter had just got popular, so I was like, I forget what I said. I think I said like I called him Carl Martini. Kyle, you need to go to a optometrist because your eyes, something's going on with your eyes. I said something like that on Twitter, and man, they ate it up, bro. Media ate it up, like, oh my gosh. Even my team ate it up, like the front office ate it up, like.
Yeah.
Then everybody started calling him Carl Martini. Every time he did, I had to apologize to him because he was like disrespecting my name. I don't know. I was just like what? What's going on here, man?
So I take it you don't drink martinis to this day.
I ain't never had one a day in my life, man.
Nah, it's haram. But kind of wanted to talk about your national team career. You know, you've been a part of the U.S. men's national team since really 2008. You know, started with the U20s, U23s, and then actually, you know, getting your first team call up in 2012. Kind of take us through, you know, getting called up for the first time. Because I know, you know, just to represent, you know, the U.S. is a big deal. And then just kind of just take us through your experience as a youth going up, and then finally making that first team appearance.
No, I think it was cool because the program actually, like, I started with it a lot younger. My first call up was, I think I was 17 at the time. We ended up going to Buenos Aires. We went to Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Yes, yeah.
Played against Estudiantes de La Plata. Played. Then we went to Paraguay and played against, I think it was the Paraguay under 17 team or under 18 team, and from there I was getting regular call ups in the youth setup. I ended up going as 18-year-olds to the Campos Verdes International Tournament, which was in Portugal.
Yeah.
Which we got smoked. We did all right. We beat Ireland. Oh, who was it? Ireland? No, Republic of Ireland was my first game. We beat them, and then we played Portugal. We got smoked by Portugal. But great experiences to have been able to be a part of. And then from there, the program does a good job of kind of carrying you through the ranks, helping you find a team, making sure that you're getting games in some sort of aspect, and then carrying you through the ranks up to the senior team.
Right. Yeah, that's really dope to hear. I have another question, but I want to touch on something you just said. They make sure you get games, right? So does like the U.S. men's national team, do they talk to the clubs that the current players are playing for, like, hey, we want to see them in matches, and they kind of are able to facilitate a little bit of that with clubs, or no?
No, I think that's based solely on the club. But
Okay.
if you as a player need to find games,
Hmm.
there's an ability to talk to certain people to, okay, hey, what can I do? Where can I go to get games? I'm still a young guy, you know. Sometimes they tell you just be patient because
Hmm.
at that point you're still young, right?
Hmm.
You don't want to be thinking. But if you're at a club where certain guys, you're like, okay, no, this guy should be playing, because their talent is very high. You've seen guys at that time like Josie Altidore, wherever he goes, he probably needs to be playing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you know. But there are a lot of guys, a lot of the guys I were, did those youth camps with made it and had good careers. So some are still playing. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's dope. That's dope. So getting called up now, like, through the youth, you've graduated. Now you're getting called up to the first team. Just at that camp. It was very interesting. We told you we talked to CJ Sapong, and his call up as well,
Yeah.
and it was very interesting hearing his perspective because he was like, the call up was cool, but people weren't really friends. Like, we're here for 2 weeks, and then we go right back to the MLS and we're playing against each other, and it's like
Mm.
it was kind of weird. So I'm really curious to just kind of hear about your experience, at that camp.
I had some fun times.
Hmm.
I had some fun times, man. We went to some dope cities. I don't know what CJ talking about. Ask CJ about LA. Ask CJ about our time in LA. LA camp, January camp. He bugging, bro. He had fun. Um, nah, man. Look, it is what it is, right? Certain camps last longer than others, right? When
Mhm.
it's the international window, you get called up. It's going to be quite short, right?
Mhm.
Some nations do a monthly camp at some point of the year, where it's like almost 4 weeks. Whether it may be with guys that are C team players, guys that are domestic players, instead of the international guys, So they're keeping guys together, and the U.S. does that, right? They have a January camp annually that they invest in, and um, those are the times to build the relationships, because you're living with each other day in day out. You're probably traveling, going to different places. You're on plane flights. This is essentially like your family for a month.
Mhm.
You have staff and you have responsibilities that you have to attain to, and it's those are the chances that you get to build those relationships. But then when it's a regular international window, then it's like, no, you're coming in for business. We got to win this match, whether it's a World Cup qualifier or whether it's a CONCACAF Nations League match now, which is now a new tournament. Those are the things that your focus is on when it's you only together for 8 days, 9 days.
Right.
Was there someone that kind of stood out to you in any of those camps? Someone that
Any
we
team I
probably,
played with or with the U.S.
I would say with the U.S. Because obviously, we hear about the big names of of this person, but like, was there someone that you were like, what,
There were
this
some
is
there were some guys. There were some guys like Josie. Like when you play small sided, he was very finesse, right?
Mm.
Eddie was the type of guy you playing small sided. He don't care if it's because small sided or tight spaces.
Mm.
He's gonna shoot the ball hard. It's like, bro, you already 5 feet from the goal. Just finesse it to the side. Nah,
yeah,
he just want to
Power.
I lay the ball. You five. Okay, you hit the net, you score, fine. But I'm not gonna sacrifice my body like that in the middle of training, bro. It's not worth
yeah,
it.
Mhm.
For
Yeah.
that, I'm gonna go for it in the game. But then you tell yourself
Mhm.
you gotta treat practice like it's a game. But
Like
he's
it's the
shooting the
game.
ball, he pounding the ball so hard, and he's scoring. He's doing his job. But it's
okay,
That's
like
so
I'm
funny.
supposed to go and spread in front of that and just take that hit at the ear or to the chest
Nah.
in the middle.
Oh,
This
that's
is
so
not.
funny.
This is not. This is not the final, fam. This is not.
Mhm.
The World Cup final. It's not. You know, but no, everybody's special in their own right, man. I've seen some guys that just in training they light it up, in games they disappear. I've seen guys
Right.
that
Mhm.
They
Practice
don't they don't
sweaters.
do they don't do nothing in training. They just
Training.
they sit there with that new celebration that everybody's doing with their hand in their hair.
Yeah.
That's how they look at training, bro. But then it's the bright lights turn on.
Go time.
There's guys that they're just like you like another breath of they're just a breath of fresh air to watch, you know, like so if you want me to pinpoint one, man, I say Clint Dempsey was cool to train with because he's just silky with it, bro. Like I don't know what it was. You think it's a donkey touch. You just want to be like, yo, you got a donkey touch. You think it's that. But he's kept it and he's in full control. And once you stick your leg in, it's like the ball's gone past you, and so is he. You know?
Yeah.
So I'd say Clint Dempsey's up there, silky with it, bro. Silky smooth with it. You know?
That's a good one.
I want to take I want to go a little different direction. So in 2022, which was what, 2 years ago, you decided to sign with Memphis 901.
I'm thankful to Tim. I'm thankful to
Tim Howard.
Yeah, Tim Howard.
Yeah,
that
it's
was
the
the
same.
reason. That was the reason. I was in Scotland. And they fired the coach right before I got there. They fired the director right before they got there. They were on a losing streak. And that director and coach wanted to sign me. And I just arrived. I arrived in Dundee. It was Dundee United. And I just arrived. And they fired Tony Asgar or whatever his name is, and the head coach at the time, who I did the deal with. The new coach came in. I think it came from Aberdeen. And he's like, look, this is the old coach's signing. You know, like this is probably not the thing that we want to do right now. We just want to focus on survival because they were in the relegation zone. So, you know, they ended up saying, okay, no, we're not going to do this. But we'll let you stay a week because I had the apartment. I had everything. I had a newborn baby. I had my girl with me. And my girl with me. We had the apartment. We were all set. And then, boom, they got fired. But we were there. And then, yeah, man. I ended up going to London, staying in London, training at Crystal Palace. I stayed in London with my family. My parents grew up in London, and I trained at Crystal Palace during that time. Shout out to Dean Kiley, who's the goalkeeper coach there now. He's a great family friend. And Roy Hodgson was the coach. No, sorry. Patrick Vieira was the coach.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Patrick Vieira was the coach. And he's cool too, you know. He had remembered me because I played against him in the MLS anyway. When he was in NYCFC. So, and Chris Richards there as well, and ironically, Greg Berhalter was there during that time too. It was
Really?
Okay. Yeah, I think it was.
Were they all on the staff?
It was during that. No, he wasn't on the staff, but he was there. I think it was during that moment of time with. Gio Reynas and you know the World Cup and all that drama that was going on.
Yeah.
So I saw Greg there. Chris Richards was there, obviously. Patrick Vieira is a coach. So I just decided, you know, let me stay. I asked them, can I stay for a while? They said yes. Then I was like, I need to find a club. MLS is starting up. Seeing shit kick off over here. I'm like, I need to find a club. It's a bit too late for MLS, but I called Tim. I wanted to ask Tim for advice. Had no idea he was the owner of a club. He was the owner of Memphis at the time. He had invested in Memphis, and so shit. It was within a week. Plane flight booked, ready to rumble. You know, moved to Memphis, and with the newborn baby, it was tough. It was tough on the family. I didn't get on well with the goalkeeper coach, and unfortunately, he's been out there saying bad things about me, but. You know, whatever. I believe in God, and I believe in the fact that I have 14 years prior than Memphis. So you know, Memphis was cool. Memphis was cool to see just a different part of the United States of America. Right, I'd been with DC United for 14 years. Denmark was the only place. So I hadn't been anywhere inside the United States of America. So just to be somewhere else, even though it was. That Memphis is ghetto, fam. Memphis,
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Ain't no joke, bro. Memphis is the jungle. Memphis is the jungle. There's some tough people there, fam.
Were there any lessons both on and off the field that you actually took from that experience? Like some
Yeah,
one lesson that like sticks out to you.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I just think that I think just focusing on what my job is
Hmm.
solely,
Uh,
and not what I think anybody else is supposed to do in terms of the the people that you co-work or working. You can help in terms of it's a teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? You help and you be a part of the team, but you need to focus on your job. Focus on my
yeah.
job.
Hmm.
Don't get caught up in everything the external factors. Just focus on what my job is within the realm of this team and nothing else.
Yeah,
All right.
that's dope. So kind of moving forward, you ended up, of course, signing with the Maryland Bobcats. Spent some time there. We've been fortunate enough to talk to Jay. Shout out Jay. My guy Abdul is over there as well. So shout out
Okay,
my boy
okay, okay,
Abdul. Yeah, I used to play with him at Day and Dutch Lions.
okay,
And
okay,
we
okay.
played, and he played for NKU, and I played for Cleveland State. So we were in the same Horizon League
Oh,
when we were
same
there.
area.
Yeah, so that's my guy, man. I talked to. I was just saying this is his birthday the other day, so I just talked to him not too long ago.
Nice.
But yeah, just kind of walk us through, your decision to, come back home from Memphis,
Mhm.
go to Maryland Bobcats, kind of a homecoming story, and you talked about it a little bit, but just kind of NISA as a league because it is one of those newer leagues, around. So just kind of your experience at Maryland.
Um, they've got a great thing going.
We agree.
They've got a great thing going. I think that they need to continue it. I'm not sure if they're going to be a team next season. I know that they have a goal though. So I just hope that they continue it and really focus on this great brand that they've built, the great academy that's connected to it, the connections
Hmm.
that they built, the coach that they have in Alex, who I think is I think he Alex is really the not the diamond in the rough. He's the it sauce for what they have going on. He's the it sauce, in my opinion, because
Mm.
he's one hell of a talent. I told Jay, like after the first one or two training sessions, I was like, "Yo, Jay, you're gonna struggle to keep your hands on him at one point,
Yeah.
you
Mm.
know, because he should be coaching. I think he should be coaching at a higher level. I think he should be coaching at a higher level for sure. The way he gets his words across, how he does it, how he shows is what he's looking for. It's just that it's like it's not. If he had the resources that they have at the MLS level, I'd be really interested to see how he would draw it up on a chalkboard, put those things together, on a big ass chalkboard and show his film, all that stuff. I'd be interested to see how he do it because I think he could be at a higher level right now.
Yeah.
But they have a great thing going at Maryland. I was happy to be a part of it. It's a shame what Nisa did to us
I agree,
at the end.
100%.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know these bulls that run Nisa. That's not my business, like,
Yeah.
but but they did the club dirty,
I agree.
for a team that deserved to go and lift the real silverware, this season at a professional level. A team that invested in it, a team that invested in community, a team that
Yeah.
invested in unity within a community, and use showing that with the title under the umbrella of your league, quote unquote NISA. They used that what they built in this region to amplify your brand, NISA, and you spat on that, which is a shame because it could have been a real mechanism to help build the framework for a bigger league. Something that, if money is your goal, fine, that would have come with it. But
Hmm.
it's about what they were doing in terms of the lower levels of the community, in terms of helping those that are less fortunate, that have a talent in a region that is oversaturated um, with the they people that are of color being secluded. You
Yep.
see it. It happens too often. Like these clubs, because there's certain clubs that are offering. They're telling you 3,000, 4,000 a season for your kid to join.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just a shame what Nisa did. So. But like I said, it is what it is, and I'm just a goalkeeper. And I'm just supposed to keep the I'm just supposed to I'm just supposed to keep the ball out the goal, right? Like whatever.
Yeah, no, that listen, man. You speaking to people on this call that we feel that to the core. I can speak for myself, my brother Cornelius as well. Like, that sense of community and paying to play. It's a huge conversation, especially in the sport. Because a lot of people of color don't have the money to pay that 4,000, 5,000 in these regions to go and play on these top clubs to get the exposure to go play at a higher level. I'm a product of being on scholarship. I'm fortunate enough to
Yep.
be on scholarship and being able to get exposed to different markets in the not only in Ohio but in the States. So yeah, no, I think all of us I can say collectively as a group, after talking to Jay, I mean that when we interviewed Jay, that news broke 30 minutes before we talked to him,
For
and
sure.
yeah, it was just crazy to just see and just them being so good. And you can tell, after talking to Abdul, talking to Jay, the sense of community and what they've built, even their academy team. I think you guys won a cup with youth players,
Academy
Yeah.
players.
just
Yep.
yeah, it's amazing what they're doing over there. So I agree, man. I think we all agree it's a shame that
Yeah.
what's going on in NISA, but yeah, I definitely want to ask about that and just kind of transitioning, kind of post play. Um, as a goalkeeper, like I said, this is our first time really talking to a professional goalkeeper, and it's really dope to be able to pick your mind because you see the game, that you see everything, you see the whole field.
In front of you, yeah.
Yeah, everything's in front of you. So your perspective is very interesting to all of us because all of us are field players. But how do you think and I have my own like thoughts about for you. How do you think the role of the goalkeeper has evolved over the years, and what kind of advice would you give to aspiring goalkeepers now?
The role of goalkeeper is evolved in a way where I just think simply you have to be more active in the game, and that means that you have to, when the ball is closer to you, whether it's uh, in possession or out of possession, you have to be more active and more involved in terms of how the team's going to break. Because in football, I think the idea of press has 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 gone up tenfold.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
idea of full field press and knowing angles as a team and knowing how to move forward and go and press the ball to press the next pass has grown exponentially. So more and more teams are obviously the Barcelona way are trying to play out of it, and so players are getting better. That means that the goalkeeper has to get better in that aspect. That forces the goalkeeper because of the press to have to be able to play with their feet and be involved when when the ball is in there in phase one is what we
Right.
call it, the first phase of the buildup. And now, obviously, you have to be more involved in the terms of defensively. So organizing communication, moving guys left and right, and then staying close enough to the back line to be able to be in effect, help defensively, help behind the back line, help balls over the top, help through balls, so on and so forth. That the defenders have to turn and run towards the goal. That's what I'd say the game has elevated more. It's just the involvement of the goalkeeper. It's not just stand back there and wait for a shot. It's like, okay, in possession, you really got to play now. You got to look like a field player now. You get
Mhm.
what I'm saying? You have to be a peg, a component, and so breaking the team down so they can move the ball up the field.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. I think the ball playing keeper has evolved exponentially in all facets of the game. Whether you're playing youth or you're playing at the highest level, EPL, whatever you have, it's like a standard now. You kind of have to be able to play with your feet because everyone trying to break that press. So I definitely agree. Definitely agree.
Yeah.
Question for you, Bill. We got two questions before we jump into rapid fire questions.
All right.
So my question is: you're a part of the Black Players for Change in the MLS, an organization that's making a significant impact on and off the field. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved and like why the initiative is important to you?
Because we had no unity, man. That's why I got involved. It's one thing the George Floyd thing happened during that moment,
Mhm.
Um, but we needed unity, fam. I was watching the MLS PA do their thing, and what that demographic looked like, and no disrespect, no shade to that, but we had no unity of our own. So, I was one of those 12 guys that was making those calls in the beginning, which I'm very proud of. It's interesting to see the directions that they've taken and how it looks now. Obviously some guys have moved on, but I got a lot of love for the fact that we did that. I think that's one of the greatest things I've done in MLS. That
Mm.
nobody. Thank you for mentioning that. But one of the greatest things I've done in MLS. Hopefully they continue. Hopefully we can continue growing that in a sense. The new guys that come in the league, new guys again,
Mm.
and keeping the old guys involved.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. That needs to be done better. That's one thing I would say to them. They need to do better. Is the younger guys and the older guys, from the guys from the 12 first ones, the 12 disciples, to the to the rest of the to the amazing talent that we that just made the super draft today. The
Today,
super
yeah.
draft just happened today.
Yeah, right
The
now.
Ghanaian
Yeah.
got
The
drafted first.
newest players of color. Those guys need to feel like I'm an MLS and I'm a BPC guy.
Mhm.
They need to feel like we need to create a home for them that makes them
Yeah.
feel like as soon as they come in the league, or they didn't even know about it. They know about it before, and
They
I'm going to
come
be a
in the
part of the
league.
BPC when I get in MLS one day.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
All right.
it's like we're
Create a
actually
real one. These guys go to Vegas. These guys go to Vegas every year as a celebration at MLSPA, all these different
Mhm.
organizations, and we need to come together like that.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
We need to come together
Yeah.
like that, and I love the fact that we did that. I love the fact that all those guys, man. I still look at those guys. I'm so grateful for those, from Sean to CJ to Justin to Quincy, all these dudes, Earl,
Mhm.
man. Yeah, man. Real men for doing that, man. Real men for doing that and fighting and for because there's been a lot of instances, bro.
Mhm.
A lot of things have happened, man. A lot of things
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
happened that we've been involved with, and we just like, bro, we can't be, you guys have to give us a better reaction, a better answer,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
you can't treat people this way, certain people this way, or we've done things to create, and help and grow and give back, and so yeah, it's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
But just to piggyback off that, I think it's huge, and we talk about it all the time amongst ourselves. But even when you look at the women's game and who's on top of the women's game, is women of color. When you're looking at the
Mhm.
men's game right now, the best player in college, Ghanaian boy, just got drafted first in the Super
Mhm.
Cup. So you're seeing a lot of us around the league, and we talked about it with the Bobcats, how they foster an environment that looks out for those who are underserved. And so when it's just super cool that you guys are fighting for us, especially on the highest levels, because we never really see that representation at the highest level the way that we want to. So we wanted to just say, thanks for all the work that you're doing, that you're going to continue to do, and we're definitely here to support in any way that we can, for sure.
Yeah, thank you, man. My work is done. My work is done on these streets, man. Uh,
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I go to the park. I just work with this little Muslim boy at the park yesterday, man. I had my son at the park playing. I work with this little Muslim boy for free. That's the real stuff, man. Well, you doing it, don't tell nobody know about it. This is between you and
Yeah.
God.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's really what it is. It's the stuff that you do when that people see that nobody sees. That's between you and God.
Mhm.
Like that for me. I'll tell you guys about that. Just because it's pop. But I'm just trying to give you an
Mhm.
example. Like
Mhm.
that's the stuff that that's really the good. Like you can be a part of these organizations and all that, and you look good for the resume and all that. But when you leave a house, like, what sort of good are you doing for some youth or somebody? Like,
Yeah.
that nobody sees. You don't got to. You're not telling nobody about it. It's just a thing between you and God. That's the stuff
Yeah.
you get rewarded for, man. So, you know.
No, definitely. It's fulfilling. I mean, just from following you, you give up a lot of your time to work with youth players. I see you. I follow you and what you got going on, and you're very generous with your time. This was actually one of our rapid fire questions, but you just brought up God, so I wanted to bring it up now. Um, you are Muslim, so what's the biggest challenge of going through Ramadan as a professional athlete?
'Cause I remember just before you go, I remember seeing that duel playing with that duel during Ramadan, and man, guy would just drop after matches, just drop because
Alhamdulillah.
yeah,
Alhamdulillah.
man,
Alhamdulillah, man. He's fighting a good fight, man.
yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Mhm.
Um, Yard, it's that right there, man. It's that right there. We talking about Ramadan, bro. Well, it's a good thing Ramadan's moving up a little bit, as well. MashaAllah, uh, because it was in the middle of summer, fam.
Yeah.
It was in the middle of
Long
summer
days, very long days.
and hot, fam.
Yeah.
Start beating down on you, fam. So yeah, I think the hardest thing is makeup days too.
Hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, that's Ramadan. But thank God for that month, man, because the blessing of that month is, ooh, it feel good, man.
Yeah.
The blessing of that month feel good, bro.
Do you think your focus is better during those months?
Yeah,
Okay.
because your spiritual connection for some reason seems to be hitting that month. Your spiritual
Okay.
connection needs to hit all the time, but
Mm-hmm.
your spiritual connection during that month for some odd reason is just like there's something about it. I think it was like I think it was like it was like a day or two, or no, this was Eid. It was Eid, and we played the Galaxy the next day. Played the Galaxy the next day. So I went to Eid prayer. Uh, my grandparents' masjid in Maryland. We did a big Eid prayer at this indoor soccer facility somewhere in Maryland, and I was helping. I was helping there at that day and whatever. I was there with the families, there with my mom, and we played the Galaxy the next day. I was helping. So I was helping at the masjid, collecting money, like, the zakat and all that stuff, and um, help clear out and whatever, doing my due diligence. And we played the Galaxy the next day at home. Zlatan Ibrahimovic was coming to town for the first
Hmm.
time, bro.
Mm.
And I remember
Oh man.
I was just solid on my deen, I was just I was solid on my prayer, on my salat, like everything was just in full motion, you feel me? Full motion. Um and come, I had a good game, bro. A good game. And so Zlatan come to town, and it was Zlatan, everybody talking about, man, I was seeing the odds, man. They said they was about to slap us. I bet people in there betting, man. Zlatan about to, I bet my own peoples was betting, man. Man, this might be a good 3-0 slap ski. But man, I had a good game. I think if I'm not mistaken, we ended up winning 2-1. But Zlatan had this one play on a free kick. Quincy was marking him actually, and it was swung in from the right. It was a free kick on the right flank. Zlatan hit that bitch first time, boy. First time, like between the penalty and the six, clear as day. He
Wow.
lost Quincy, and Quincy was showboating right after that. I was thinking to myself, man, Quincy, you lost him, bro. He was wide open. That's the equivalent. That's the equivalent to getting mossed right there, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
hmm
And so he hit it sweet. He hit it sweet with his right foot. He came on it with his right foot from this way. From this way, he hit it with his right
hmm
foot. Going the same direction. Boom, to my left. Somehow, bro. It's like I got back, I got set on my line, but then I fell asleep. And then I woke up rolling out of the save. Till this day,
Wow.
bro. Didn't even see the
Wow.
save, bro. I didn't see the save until it was video. And I remember, I think it was the first thing I said to Felipe. Felipe, Felipe is a Brazilian guy. He played at Austin right now. He came, or he played at Orlando. I can't remember. He came running up to me to high five me with both hands. And I think the first thing I said was, "What happened?" I was like, "Yo, man, what happened?" And to me, to this day, I think about that. I'm like, I think God happened that day, man. I
Yeah.
think God happened that day, man. Straight up, I was like, it was
That's
like
dope. That's
day
dope.
after Eid, man. I was like, yeah, God happened that day for sure.
Nah, that's awesome, man.
Oh, I just saw the save. That's wild.
You say
Wow.
you
Bro,
just
it's,
saw the save?
I just saw. That's a
it's
good
crazy to
one.
think,
We
bro.
gotta
It's
put this in the video.
yeah, no, we gotta put that in because it's crazy to think like at the
Yeah.
professional level, you could still like low key black out and be like, "Yo, what happened?" you know,
Yeah,
100%.
Wow.
just let your
That's
body go, man.
insane.
Instinctual,
yeah,
man. Yeah.
instinct.
No, that's great insight. Last question before rapid fire. You are a father, and you are a professional athlete. So I'm curious, how has fatherhood shaped you as a professional athlete, and how has it, I guess, changed
It's
for
a
you?
struggle even right now, man. That's why I put you guys on mute. I had to send Jasmine and her boyfriend to go pick up my son from daycare, man.
Yeah,
It was pushing 6 o'clock when they got to pick him up.
yeah,
Nah, but it shaped it in a way where um, I'll get the bad part out first. You have to limit yourself, right? If I could, I'd go play anywhere in the world right now, like anywhere. Like
Mm.
if I could, I'd go play in Iran. I know the U.S. wants to bomb Iran right now, but I go play in Iran, fam. I go anywhere in the world.
Mhm.
yeah,
I can't do that. I got a seed. I got a young bull. You
Mhm.
feel me? So
Mhm.
all that puts limitations on this whole jazz now.
Yeah.
So it
Mm.
is what it is, though. I accept that because, like I said, that's the bad part. The good part
Mhm.
is when I look into his eyes, man. That's yes. When I
Mhm.
look into his eyes, yes. That's all I have to say. Yes,
Mhm.
that's everything. That's the yes I need in my life, fam.
Mhm.
So it's the best thing. It's the best. It shaped me tremendously because I'm in good shape. And I think about him in the gym when I'm doing an extra rep. I'll be yelling his name. I remember I was at Sheffield Wednesday. I was at Sheffield Wednesday this past January. I was training at
Mhm.
Sheffield Wednesday. My agents got me a trial there, and I was over in England, and I had a hip contusion because the surface, no shade over to Sheffield, but if somebody from Sheffield watches this, but the training field was a little hard. So,
Mhm.
so it was diving, and I ended up out of all the diving. But sometimes, as a
Oh.
goalkeeper, your hips start to get like this little hip contusion right on
Mhm.
that hip bone, on
Yeah.
that hip bone on the
Mhm.
side.
Mhm.
So then it started to swell up. So I was like, it was my last training session. I was going back to London. I had to take the train back to London. I was only supposed to be there a week. So I was my last training session, and my hip was swollen, bro. I was yelling Omari's name before I had to do a drill, like a set in the drill. I was yelling his name in my head, was yelling it for Omari just to get me through the pain, bro.
Pain.
Just
Yeah.
the pain in my
Mhm.
hip. I was like, yo, I was yelling his name and it got me through it, bro. It got me through it. I had a great 5. I didn't end up signing, but I had an amazing 5 days. I got the film from it. I've been pushing the film around,
Mhm.
so it is what it is, man. Like for fatherhood has definitely shaped it in a way where it's definitely a blessing, man. It wakes you up. It's another wake up call, fam.
Mhm.
Especially when
yeah.
you look in their eyes. So, any
100%.
fathers, any other fathers on this call, on this
Yeah.
Yeah,
video?
man. I'm the only one. So, yeah, or
Uh,
at least as I know. I don't know about with
Yeah.
other brothers. You know what I'm
Relax,
saying?
chill.
But nah, I got
That's
I
so
know
funny.
either, man.
yeah, I got two little ones, man. One just turned 2, and one is
Nice.
6 months today. And like
Oh,
it's
Oh
congrats,
wow.
congrats, congrats.
Mhm.
thank you. It's
Mhm.
tough, but like you said, you get those constant reminders on what your purpose is. But let's get into rapid fire, bro. So just gonna hit you with some questions real quick. Just give us your answer. So,
Right.
are you a music guy? And if so, what are you listening to on game days? What's on your playlist?
Future, Amapiano, because you don't really know the Amapiano artists, right? It's like there's a million of them. There's a million of them. So got Future out the way, right? Yeah, Amapiano, and then you talking about game day. So game day, I want to. It's like you want to kill somebody. So who we thinking? Drake. I gotta give. Oh, Pac. I can't forget Pac. I got hella Pac.
I
Method
can
Man.
feel it. I can hear to hit him up right now.
Yeah. Got the Method Man. I got yeah, man. That probably on my list right now for game
90,
day. Yeah.
90s hip hop. Okay.
Okay. What was your favorite trophy or accolade in your career, and what made it special?
The U.S. one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tie. The U.S. won because the U.S. won the 2017 Gold Cup. I got tied that game, and I played that game in Cleveland, Ohio. So that was my first really official game with the national team. I played a bunch of friendlies, which are still very competitive games, right? You still have to prove yourself in those matches to get called back up, right? So those were cool. But that moment that I was finally able to get an official competition game in that 2017 Gold Cup playing Nicaragua and Cleveland in a Brown Stadium, a big old stadium too. My mother was there. Flew my mother out for that game. My mother was there, so she had the hotel room and she was in the hotel and everything. She hadn't really traveled like that before. She didn't really travel like that, so I was able to get her out there. It was just her, just me and her, and it was my cap tie game, so. Unfortunately, the unfortunate part about it is I didn't know how much of an opportunity I could have had with Sierra Leone at the time, because Sierra Leone had a lot of issues prior. But I'm grateful for the United States of America and the United States system for what is able to produce for this young African man, and yeah, that would probably be the proudest moment. The other one would probably be Denmark. That championship in Denmark was super, super freaking cool, fam. Then we went to Champions League qualification, which is pretty damn cool. So, all that shit was just cool. That shit was just cool. Champions League, you were the Champions League qualifying rounds. They played a little anthem and shit. You hit an anthem. I was on the bench, but I was still like,
yes,
the kid
comes out. You're like,
oh my God, we was in Kazakhstan, bro. We played FC Astana, got smoked, bro. But still, I was like, Champions League.
Hey, shout out Astana. Chelsea just had to play them. We're a Chelsea fan.
Yeah, how they do?
That is
They
funny.
smoked them.
Yeah, we won pretty. We should win the conference league this year.
No, Cornelius, don't do that. Cornelius, don't do that. We're gonna talk Premier League teams here in a second. Hold on, just bear with me. What are some hobbies or passions you've pursued outside of soccer?
Doing boxing, Yeah, boxing, So I go to this gym and there'd be some amateurs in there every once in a while, be sparring, light sparring. They get a little physical, but it's cool, man. That's just fun. And then DJing. My dad was a big DJ. My dad was a big DJ in the area when I was coming up.
Very cool.
That was one thing he did on the side. His name was DJ Pasadai. So he's basically like the community, the salon community DJ out here, So whenever there was a birthday party, a graduation, a salon wedding,
we always have one.
You always got one.
You already know.
Absolutely.
Somebody just had a baby, Yeah. He's at all of them. DJ Pasadai, So
that's cool.
Yeah. So I started taking DJ Quicksilver. DJ Quicksilver is a big DJ. He's a big DJ in the country also. He's also on a TV show, and he does radio out here. So he's signed with Ciroc as well. So I took his school. I signed up for his school.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Practice. I've been trying, man. I got a couple. I've had like 3 or 4 gigs. I've done terrible. My mixing needs work. But man, you just need to learn your board, man. You need to learn your mixer, man. That's all it is, Keep learning your board,
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, I mix a little bit too. What you using, Record Box or Serato?
I'm using Serato.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
Last one for me, and then I'm gonna pass it over to G. Um, Walk us through your most memorable save of your career.
Zlatan, he just watched it. Go ahead.
It was well.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
nice
Okay.
one, you Jackie.
Save
Man,
us.
I ain't gonna
Save
lie. I
us.
watched
There's a
it
few.
too. Fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah, there's a few, but that
Yeah.
one's probably yeah. Let's go with that one.
Okay.
Okay.
Toughest striker you ever played against?
Didier Drogba.
Oh, let's
Hey.
go.
What an
Let's
answer.
go.
Didier is wow, bro. That boy, wow, bro. Yeah, that debut was crazy. It was crazy because he actually, when he signed with Montreal, he didn't he I guess he couldn't get his papers quick enough for the game that he was here. So he was in the stands for the first game he was here. But I think we played them twice in that season. So we beat them. We beat them one. We played them. We beat them. Chris Rolfe scored. We had one shot
I
on
remember.
target, and you
Wow,
can find this
Crystal.
online, my friend. Since you like searching stuff, Chris Rolfe
Uh-huh.
scored. We had one shot on target. This is the first shot of the game. One shot on target, bro. We scored. We had no more shots. I don't think the ball left our half for the rest for the 80 minutes for the remainder of the game. The ball, I don't think it left our freaking half, bro. Somehow we walked at that joint 1-0, bro. I was on fuego, bro.
Yeah.
But then Didier decided, the Canadian government decided to grant him his papers, so he was able to play in the motherfucking league, and.
Damn.
And so his first time, I think it was the first time he got the ball, bro. He hit deep. What he did to Steven Birnbaum was really worse than he did to me in that play. So if you end up watching it, because I feel like y'all probably gonna watch it,
Definitely gonna have to run
the
that.
scissors he did to Birnbaum, that dropped Birnbaum, is worse than him chipping the ball over me. Okay, so I'm gonna put that on Front Street. I'm gonna put that on Front Street before you watch that. He hit Steve with a double scissors that dropped him at the top of the box in Montreal, and then he proceeded to chip the ball over me with his left foot and then run to the corner
Hey.
doing his little whatever he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big slide.
That's crazy. Oh
did.
man. Yeah, goat man.
I was
Goat,
not
goat.
expecting that at all.
Yeah,
I
me
was
neither.
not.
I know we're just gonna talk Prem. Who's your Prem team?
Man United.
My
Well,
dog.
That's why you wore it today, huh?
Yeah.
My
Well,
dog. My dog.
just kind of piggyback. How did you end up becoming a fan? I know we all have like different kind of stories. How did you end up becoming a fan of United?
Man, I don't know what it was, man, but something to them attracted me when I was a kid, when I was young. Something about them attracted me, and I don't know. I was a
Sir
big
Alex.
YouTube guy. I was Sir Alex, the decency of Sir Alex, the way he managed his teams, the way the teams operated. Tim Howard being there really
Oh yeah.
ignited it. It really ignited it because it was a young black American goalkeeper
Keeper. Yeah.
at Manchester United that really ignited it. So that'd probably be the way. That'd probably be the reason. And then as I started to grow as a fan, I started to learn about the stars before the Eric Cantonas, the Dwight Yorks, so on and so forth. So that made me really. Edwin van der Sar, I just loved him.
Oh
Loved
my
him.
God.
Fire.
I love Van der Sar at United.
Yeah.
There was something so mature and uh dominant about Edwin.
Yeah.
That was so I was like, okay, that is a goalkeeper to look up to, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Okay.
Gabriel,
No,
not
tell
to
him,
cut
Bill.
you off.
Tell him. Just tell. That's football heritage, man. These guys, they don't know anything.
All right.
Every week, I have to fight for my life on here because of what they do.
Hey, man.
But
Yeah. But Gabriel, not to cut you off. I know you got a couple questions, but I know you talked a little bit about it earlier, but talk about, if you can, just real quick, your relationship with Tim Howard. Because for me, you get your first start in 2009. I'm a freshman in high school. So being, a young soccer player, seeing Tim Howard seeing just young black players is just like, especially goalkeepers. What's that relationship been like, and how's it been just able to grow and kind of just reflect when you look back, seeing where you guys are now in your careers?
I reflect all the time, man, because all those camps that we had. I remember the one time, the one camp. So the first time was it was under Bob Bradley. They just needed a number for training. They had a World Cup qualifier here in DC. They needed a goalkeeper for training, an extra goalkeeper for training session for one of the drills that they wanted to do, and I guess they needed a fourth for a four goalkeeper game. And so since the camp was in DC, I was out there. I was out there with Tim, and Tim was really at the at the pinnacle. He at the top for a long time, especially at Everton. But he was really getting up there during that time. So I was like, shit, yeah, I'm in there once they asked. And so did looked at that as a massive experience to get to know Tim, and then a lot of World Cup qualifiers under Jurgen. When Jurgen Klinsmann first got the job as a national team coach, his prerogative was I need to find a young goalkeeper. So it was clear that in the beginning he chose me because Brad Guzan was not playing at Aston Villa. He was on the bench at that time.
Yeah.
And so he thought Nick Raimondo, if I'm going to take a goalkeeper from the MLS, it's got to be young. Nick Raimondo he's older.
Yeah.
All right. So he thought that in the beginning. And so he was calling me up. So I was on the bench backing up Timmy for World Cup qualifiers. I remember World Cup qualifier in Trinidad and Tobago, backing up Tim. If anything happens to Tim in that, I'm playing in a World Cup qualifier, fam.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is bizarre to me. So, from there, watching him, there's some photos I have, in some matches that we played in training sessions leading up to it. I'm just like, wow. Watching him do his thing. You can see me standing there watching him while he's in the photo and while he's in the middle of what he's doing. It's really cool to see how he did his thing. And now to this day, like when I'm making certain saves or I'm in training sessions, I do some shit that he does. There's a lot of shit that I do that he does. If you really know goalkeeping and you watching how you move his feet to the ball, how you in terms of moving his feet to a save, how he makes the save to collect the ball. Like it's just stuff that I've completely mimicked and stuff that I teach as well. But that's how I'm convinced the position should be played. So since then he signed. We won the Gold Cup together in 2017. He backstopped that team. That was like I said, that was one of the memories for me. Me getting cap tied that tournament, and then also him giving me an opportunity and me and my family an opportunity to
Memphis.
take care of our lives, to earn money to survive. Ultimately, that's what we're doing in this right now.
Right.
And he created that. He created that platform. He gave us that platform to be able to earn money, especially during the time when I just had my first child. So yeah, he's his photos on the wall in my son's room upstairs.
That's so cool.
As well as Francis Tiafo, who's my boy, and
shout out, man.
Kofi Opari,
bro. One of the young, good tennis players right now. Shout out Tiafo, man.
That's my man. And then Kofi Opari, who's somebody you should definitely think about interviewing sometime. He's here. He could probably hear us right now. He's here for the holidays. Galaxy, played for DC United, played for the Colorado Rapids.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
let's tap in, man.
He's in the room. He's in the room. He's in the room on the wall in my son's room. So yeah, Tim is definitely influential in all of this, fam.
I agree.
Yeah, no, definitely had an aspect of that relationship.
I think Tim Howard, he gets his flowers, but he's one of the top U.S. players to ever play the game. To be honest,
number one.
I feel like
number one. Who else? Well, you could say Pulisic because he's won the Champions League, but
Yeah.
in terms
You're
of
right.
who's done it
You're
at the highest.
Highest
And
level
longevity, and you gotta look
for
at
a
his
long
longevity,
time.
man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He did it. He did
Yeah.
it in the Premier League for a long. He played a lot of freaking games in the Premier
Long
League for
time.
two
A
clubs
lot
that
of games for
are
Everton.
nothing to play with. Two
Facts.
Yeah.
clubs are nothing.
Facts.
Everton might be, you know, if I say
Never been
Now,
Everton,
no,
relegated.
but
Never
we knew
been
Everton in the
relegated.
2000s. Yeah. We
yeah,
knew Everton in the 2000s. We know the Merseyside derbies. Like we remember.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, those
Bro, I was on.
those are real club. That's a real club to be able to walk into Everton and say you a legend.
Yeah.
That's a
Crazy.
real
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
That's a real deal. So
He
I think for me,
he
he's number one. He's the number one greatest U.S. player. I don't know.
yeah.
I
Everybody's
think
got
it's
their
not even a hot. You
Yeah,
might
it's
have
not
a
a hot
point
take.
there.
I
To be
agree.
honest. Yeah.
I've always said
I
that.
mean,
You might have a point.
we could get into the. I thought that's a different conversation, but anyway, I was looking into Tim Howard's career, and he has like what 350 plus goals, or I'm sorry, appearances.
Yeah,
He got one goal. He
yeah,
got
Oh
one
yeah.
goal.
I remember that goal too.
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Windy as
Yeah.
hell. See, that's what England. Oh man, that's why you
Yeah.
go up, bro. You go play in England, like you go play in them lower leagues, man. That's how them lower leagues look, bro.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Every time I go to England, man. Every time I go see my family in London, I'll go to as many games as possible. I don't care if it's for League One games, bro.
Mhm.
When they put that ball down, it ends up. Nigga, once
Yeah.
they put that ball
Yeah.
down on the grass, you see all you see is boom, boom, boom. Center back, boom, boom. Quick center back, boom. They kick it again, boom. The wind too, late at night in the UK. You know,
Yeah.
the UK's an
Man.
island, bro. The
Mhm.
UK's an island,
Yeah.
bro. The wind.
Mhm.
So that goal that Tim scored, man, if you remember correctly, all he did was
Yeah.
kick the daylights out of it, bro. The wind.
Yeah.
It took one bounce. It took a
Yeah.
bounce outside the 18, and the next bounce was in the goal, fam.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Crazy. Yeah, no, I can definitely relate to that UK win. I've been over there 3 times. I also have family over there. Cousins and uncle. Actually, my cousins are ballers over there too. One plays for Arsenal Academy right now.
A word?
Yeah, another one plays for Brentford's Academy. So shout out
Oh,
cousins.
that's big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get your
So-
agent license, bro.
Yeah, I know. I know. They got agents already. They got agents. I met the agent. I was there in July. No, they're definitely set up over there. They're good over there. But yeah, just two last questions before we wrap up. If you had to create a 5-a-side team of your favorite teammates, and you're the coach of this team.
Bumbleclad.
I know it's for you. It's tough. We play with so many players, but yeah,
Oh
5-a-side.
shit! I gotta remember somebody. I gotta remember the center back name. We had a center back who's a Villarreal legend from Bolivia. I can't remember his name right now because he's my first favorite defender I ever played with.
Hmm.
We got a center back who played for Villarreal, who they say is a master. I can't remember his name. Uh, Maybe starts with an M. He'd be on that team if any of you search monsters want to search. And then we gotta have Wayne Rooney somewhere on there because it's fucking
Yeah.
Wayne Rooney.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Wayne up top. We got Acosta. You gotta have Acosta because he sometimes if it's a 5v side, you don't even need the other 4 with Acosta.
Yeah.
It's like you playing 1v5 and you're like you're sowing the fruits of his labor. You know, we won. Okay, here's my pay. Great. I didn't really do nothing. Thank you, Lucho. Because Lucho is that good. No wonder why he's making hella coin and he's doing his thing at Cincinnati. But Wayne, we got Lucho, and then damn, who else up? Oh no, I'm gonna put my man Kofi on it. I can't forget my man Kofi upstairs.
Go feel
Kofi,
pirate.
Kofi, come down here, man, if you hear me. Kofi's on the 5-a-side team. That's my center back. We go link and link, man. I hear him. He hears me. We move together. We block. He recover, run, tackle. Yeah, that's my guy. So that's 3. And then is it 5 plus me or am I with the 5?
You're the
You
coach.
can be one of the 5.
I'm the coach.
Well,
so I'm not
okay,
the goalkeeper.
okay. You're not part of it. Yeah.
I'm not part of it. Okay, so I need to
No.
or 2 more. Okay.
You can put yourself in there.
Hey, if
CJ
you
put
want to put
himself in
himself.
there.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay. Well, I already got it. Did I get a striker already? I got Wayne.
Rooney, yeah.
Okay. I'll say Cool. That's hard, bro. I say,
You play with a lot of guys.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You can pick
guys
from
that
the
I play with.
national
Oh,
team
sorry,
too.
Rafael van der Vaart.
Wow.
Rafael van der Vaart.
That is a
Yikes.
I
name.
think Van der Vaart sat next to him in the
That
in the
left
locker
foot
room.
is silky.
I stood next to him. I sat next to him in the locker room at Michelin. He regularly tried to chip me from half field in training. He'd always try to chip me. He's very disrespectful. It's unbelievable.
Bro, it's like players like that. They've been good their whole lives. They could just do whatever they want.
That's what he did. And then my last one will probably be Artem Dovbyk. Artem currently
Come up, striker.
he's at Roma.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
this
dope.
man's a beast, man.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming too. They're in a little slip of form right now, but man, this Ukrainian, he sat on the other side of Rafael van der Vaart. Actually, I knew it was coming, fam. He didn't play that much with us at Michelin, but when I sat back, I looked out, I would see this boy with his left foot. I'm like, there's something different about this little Ukrainian man. This boy's serious. He's serious. And sure enough, at Girona, man, he just blew up at Girona. He was scoring goals left and right in La Liga, man. Yeah. So to see him doing his thing now at Roma, I'm like, you made it. Good job, man. Good job. Dope. Happy to see it happen to you. You know.
Yeah,
that's a crazy five.
Yeah, that's a crazy five.
That's a crazy five.
Yeah, that's a crazy five. I know Salam's gonna wrap us up, but just for me personally, man, it's been a pleasure being able to speak to you. I appreciate you, just spending our time with us, and yeah, man, it's been super insightful to speak to you, bro. I really do appreciate it, man, for real.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, bro. Like we said, man, thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. As I said at the beginning of the episode, to all of us, man, obviously, no disrespect to the black keepers and not just keepers. I just feel like black players. When I think of you, I really think of one of the pioneers of black players in the MLS. So
100%.
It's really,
man. I appreciate that.
It's really cool to see you. You still got plenty left in the tank. I mean, we've been following you for the past. We've been following you for a while. So we see what you got, and obviously, man, just wish you nothing but continued success and a prosperous 2025, man.
Likewise, man. I wish the same for you guys, man. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Don't be strangers, man. All right.
Absolutely.
Boy up, man. Check up on me, man. I'm gonna check up on y'all. All right.
Absolutely.
Bless.
All right, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you.